Hello again, welcome back. Here we are at Spink talking about coins, and Barbara's with me now because we're going to talk about the Nicholas Rhodes collection. We've got the second part of the coins of Northeast India, and Barbara's had a merry time cataloguing, at least that's what she tells me, and so she's brought some of the highlights and she's going to tell us about it. But before we begin on the coins, what about Nicholas Rhodes himself? Do you want to, because I don't know very much about Nicholas Rhodes, I didn't come across him. Was he a specialist in this area, or did he do other things? Or
oh, certainly. Nicholas Rhodes was a founder member of the Oriental Numismatic Society, and he travelled to Northeast India as a student with several of his friends in a minibus, which was the habit then. He used to go overland to India and places like that. And having reached these hill states in Northeast India, he was so fascinated by them that he made it his lifetime work to collect the coins and indeed research the history as well of the whole area. And his work has been considered extremely important for both historians and coin collectors because of that.
gosh, so he drove to India in probably a clapped out old
bus.
Yes,
in 1968 or period.
And he never looked back. Oh,
exactly.
Good for him.
And in fact, he married a lady from that area.
As you do.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, good. And here we have the second part. So we had a sale, what was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
2013, we had the sale of Tibetan coins and the first part of Northeast India coins.
I remember it.
And because he was such a prolific collector, we had to split the Northeast Indian state part into two sections because he used it as coins is a specialist subject, and he would collect everything, so there's a lot of coins to sell.
So it's a huge collection. So, this one.
Yes, lot 19 is a very early coin of a state called Tripura. Before the 15th century, Northeast India didn't have many coins at all, but this ruler, Ratna Manikya, he travelled to Bengal, and when he came back he took some note of the coinage that was issued and circulating in that state. So he based his entire coinage system on the coins of 14th, 15th century Bengal. This accounts for the lion, that is a particularly strange lion that features on most coins of Tripura from that time onwards. But on the other side, he did experiment a lot with different coins and types. Just sometimes he'd put a legend, and in this particular coin, believed to be unique, he featured what is believed to be a form of Hindu deity called Narasimha, which was part lion and part human. So this has a strange human face and body of a lion. Yes. So it's believed to be the only one in existence.
This is the only one known?
Well, as far as we know. I mean, presumably more were struck at the time. No one had ever struck just one coin. But
quite a large coin.
It is, yes. As I say, it was based on what was circulating in Bengal at the time. All the weights are based on the coins of the Bengal sultans. Another hill state is Assam, lot 258. This is a very strange coin because although most of the coins of Assam are octagonal in shape, they usually feature the local language, Assamese or Devanagari script written in Hindi. But this particular one is one of the only coins from that state known with Chinese writing on, and it's thought that this is because they were trying to, the ruler of Assam at the time, which was the mid-17th century, was trying to forge trade links
with China.
With Tibet in particular. And he's put on it on one side Bao and one side Zhang, Zhang being a state of southern Tibet bordering on Assam. So it means currency of Tibet. So they're obviously intending this coin, although it looked like an Assamese coin, to be circulating or acceptable in Tibet, and Tibetan coins of the same era have got
Right.
currency of Tibet on like that.
Interesting.
Um,
Did it work?
well, no, unfortunately,
Oh, no.
because this it does have a date, which is where the historical interest comes in. Particular,
Yeah.
it's dated 1570 in the Sakha era, which purports to be 1648.
Hmm.
And in 1652, the Tibetans actually signed a monopoly trade deal with the Nepalese. So Assam was
And
cut
cut Assam out.
completely
Oh, no.
out of the deal with on the trade routes. So
Oh.
this coin was never continued. So if there were a few of them around at the time,
Hence its
this
rarity.
is one
Uh-huh.
of the only ones known, possibly the only one, certainly the first one to come to auction.
How interesting.
Yes.
Ah. And another octagonal, no.
Well, the next one is lot 333, also from
Yes.
Assam. Now, the Assamese had many changes of ruler. They were generally, as hill states, they were ruled by various families who would rival each other from time to time.
Hmm.
And also the Brahmins of the Hindu religion were very important because they more or less verified a particular family. If they said a family was related or had a particular relationship with the deities or was particularly
Right.
important, what they said went.
Right.
At one point, this coin comes from the mid-18th century. The existing ruler fell out with these Brahmins who held the power, and they installed their own ruler, who only ruled in what is in our era 1769. He just ruled for 1 year, and instead of issuing the normal 8-sided Assamese coin, this one type of coin, of which only 11 are known, was issued with 9 sides by this branch called Momarian Brahmins, who installed this ruler. He didn't last long, as I say, he
Right.
only lasted for 1 year, but that
Right.
sort of makes a rare coin out of it because.
And so they intentionally made a 9-sided coin. Why?
We can't say
Just to be
any
different?
reason why,
No
apart
reason?
from the fact they wanted to go one better than an 8-sided
Really?
coin. I can't imagine
Oh,
why.
fascinating.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is gold.
Yes, yes.
Is it good gold? It's quite a heavy piece.
Well, this is the thing. It is actually the other different thing about it. It's a 1.5 moher
Ah.
coin. It's 17
Yeah.
grams of gold, which
Okay.
is like 2 of our sovereigns, more or less.
Yes.
But most of the mohurs were just 11
11 or
grams.
12, yeah.
So,
So that's
it's a particularly.
a chunky thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's probably a presentation piece. What they did, they
right.
tended to strike gold coins for the coronations that would take place often in the temple in the
Right.
presence of the deity,
So to give out
and they would be given
during the
out
ceremony.
to the Brahmins or to
Yes.
the important people.
Largesse.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
at the time. So it may be another reason why there's not many of these coins around.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And in fact, this takes us into the next coin, which is lot 426. So Terrigarwal was a very tiny hill state, and in fact, it was conquered by the Nepalese in 1804.
Right.
The existing family went into exile, but the British took over the area
Mhm.
and reinstated them in the form of Sudarshan Shah, who issued this coin.
Mhm.
In fact, we're not actually sure whether it is a coin, because he was never given permission to strike
Yeah.
coinage by the British. So anything
Right.
that was issued in his reign, he would have just struck on his own.
Just for private, for personal use.
What it does say is Badrinatha, and there's a local deity with a temple nearby called Badrinatha,
Right.
and it is thought that possibly he was either intending the money to be given to the deity as a
Yes.
contribution,
Yes.
or as Nicholas Rhodes wrote
Yes.
and researched,
Yes.
possibly the family in the past had borrowed money from the temple This often happened with the royal families who had close links. They used the treasury as a
Treasury, yeah.
personal
Yes,
stock
yes,
of wealth.
yes.
So if there was a war, they'd borrow money, and this could be used by the ancestor, the heir of that dynasty, to repay.
To pay it back.
So it's like render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. He's
Right.
bad enough on it.
Yeah.
And another interesting thing about this coin, in terms of Nicholas Rhodes, is the date, which is 1872.
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas Rhodes. This coin has been published before. Several of them have been known, but it was thought that it was 1872 in our British era, and he decided that it wasn't, because Sudarshan Shah came to the throne in 1815, which is 1872 in an era called the Vikram era, which
Right.
started in 57 BC.
So he
And so
pushed
that's
the
why
dating
he
back.
decided that this
50
fits
years.
exactly with the Sudarshan Shah, and it would have been produced, as a lot of these coins, as we said before, were produced at the time of his coronation, and then
Right.
some research that's entirely down to Nicholas Rhodes.
Gosh, fascinating. Well, thank you for that. The sale is on the 27th of September in the afternoon, starting at 2 o'clock, we hope. You can view the coins online. They're all illustrated, are they?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. Or you can come in and view them in person. Barbara would love to show you them. They're all ready for viewing. The sale, as I say, on the 27th, you can participate by bidding through Spink Live on the website. We hope to see you there. Thank you very much, Barbara.
Thank you.